This is what the life of an incel looks like. For the people who don't know that term, involuntarily celibate. Involuntarily celibate, meaning they are not able to have intercourse with anyone because they literally can't.
Fireball Ellie, I'm gonna fireball multiple government buildings, Ellie. My name is Spot, S-P-A-F-T. I live in the United Kingdom.
His mom was that?
Interviewer.
Okay.
This is a performance. For the cameras and for me, a woman. Because this is a chat room of incels. Virgins spread across 3 continents.
These are my friends. This guy's name, we call him Prince. Bald already. This is a guy named Dank. He's a compulsive liar. Yeah, Joey's his vice bitch still there. Written by fuck you. And that's just how we talk though, you know, like this bitch, that nigga, that nigga.
Come again?
That nigga.
I didn't think I saw one black person in that group. Was there a black person in the group? You know, I don't see a black guy in their group, but I am concerned that the one bald guy's name is Psycho Killer. Who are these guys?
We need to react to more Vice. Like, Vice would be good. Can we run that back? I think I heard him wrong.
That nigga.
I think I misheard him.
These are my friends. This guy's name, we call him Prince. Bald already. This is a guy named Dank. He's a compulsive liar. Yeah, Joey's his vice bitch still there. Written by fuck you. And that's just how we talk though, you know, like this bitch, that nigga, this, that, you know.
Like, why did he include that? What does that have to do with being an incel? Like, saying the N-word. Like, I get the bitch part.
And then he even tell him, the other guy, this is Joey, bald already.
Bald already.
Okay, we get it. We can see. Nah, based off his physique, I kind of was already feeling weird about it. He has these like scary eyes to me.
No, he's locked in. This is what he does.
When I get trolls on my posts, it might be him.
And that's why it's funny. I don't take any comments to heart like anymore like I used to, because I realize that there's probably this guy.
Probably that guy behind the screen.
How he dropped that so swiftly.
That nigga.
He's been saying that for years.
He said that comfortably.
But he knows who he's saying it with. That's a problem.
Most of the world was introduced to incels when Elliot Rodger killed 6 people at UC Santa Barbara in 2014.
Police didn't have to search long to learn what motivated a 22-year-old gunman to kill 6 people and injure 7 others.
Before doing so, he posted a 141-page manifesto, mostly blaming women for not having sex with him.
I will slaughter every single spoiled, stuck-up, blonde slut.
It made him a hero among some incels. Then, in Toronto in April, Alec Manassian praised Rodger on Facebook before driving a van into a crowd of people, killing 10.
Alec Manassian wasn't part of a terrorist group, but it may not be as simple as suggesting he was a lone wolf.
What is an incel?
It's involuntarily celibate. It's just something you are. You know, Volcel is voluntarily celibate. Incel is involuntarily celibate, meaning you've tried many times and failed. And then there's mental cells, which is probably the best fits me, someone who can't form a relationship because of mental blockage.
What have you been diagnosed as?
Agoraphobia, obsessive compulsive disorder, social anxiety, social paranoia. That's not even a thing.
Joey is 23 years old. He doesn't have a job, he's not in school. On a given day, he may not get up from his chair, where he sits sometimes for 2 days straight, smoking cigarettes and running chat rooms.
That's why no one likes him, right?
That's why you don't think girls, bro.
Are incels violent?
I don't think they're really violent. They're very meek. And when an incel attacks, it's not the same type of thing as when Dylan Roof shot up that church or when ISIS blows people up. Those are perhaps more masculine. These are like docile men who have like this bottled up thing and then it comes out as an outburst of anger. But I think that's uncommon.
People joke about killing women.
That's a higher percentage, people who joke about killing women.
The jokes were ambiguous enough that Reddit banned its incel forum last November for violating its policy against inciting violence. But incels still talk on sites with fewer rules, like 4chan and incels.me.
Incels.me. What's the point of the chat rooms?
What does Elliot Rodger mean to the incel community?
People look up to him, I guess, in some sense. Not in the chat room I run. It's part a joke, part people look up to.
And do you like the ambiguity that you can't tell whether they're joking or not?
Yeah. Well, that's the...
Even if they're talking about someone who killed people?
Well, I think that it's part of a way for them to heal themselves. Maybe they feel bitter and resentful like he did. And to be able to laugh at him is a way to be able to laugh at themselves.
Incels believe in a strange cosmology where a male archetype named Chad talks to women with ease and is rewarded with sex. Incels find themselves in opposition to this, as too ugly or awkward, and resent women for falling for the Chads of the world.
Before we came here, I told you to just be yourself. You said that was a joke.
The joke was like, he's some skinny loser and Chad does something awesome and he goes, hey man, how do you do it? And the guy, Chad, just goes, just be yourself, man. Chad doesn't realize that, his good looks or his muscles or his financial status or social status are what make him successful and what get him friends. He doesn't realize that. He thinks it's just his personality that does that. It's just virtue of him being him.
Incels think that without a stigma on female sexuality, women will sleep with countless high-status Chads, leaving the remaining 80% of men sexless and resentful.
Women who have had...
Clean up your room a little, maybe. Hey, make the bud.
Women who have had sex with, 100 plus men, and now they're kind of ostracized from their communities, and they feel that they were kind of lied to by a feminist progressive society that told them it's okay to flaunt your sexuality.
But that just seems kind of like a cartoon to me. Like, I don't actually know in my personal life many women who have slept with hundreds and hundreds
You don't?
of men.
You should interview girls 22, 23 right now and ask them how many partners they've had.
For all the anger directed outward toward women, there's more directed inward. Incels are dangerous, but mostly to themselves.
He's gonna get his dick out. That's what he does. Gets his dick out, shits his pants.
What?
He's shitting his pants. Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
This stunt was one of this guy's recurring jokes. So was suicide. He died at home on July 7th. Coroners haven't yet ruled on a cause of death. In this subculture, people bond over self-loathing. Joy says it's therapeutic, but 4 of his friends have killed themselves.
There's usually a solution at the end. They kind of just, and that's the reality.
Comment, he's not even remotely ugly or unattractive. I know people that are far more unattractive and they just live life. It's a mental thing. My man dove headfirst into that N-word as though he's received a government issued N-word pass by all 535 members of Congress.
He has a mental disorder. Leave him alone.
I might be a bit more harsh on just sort of his presentation, but that is spooky, to say the least.
That could be a lot of different things, like the disorder. It could be past trauma. Sometimes people don't even know why they act in certain ways and why they're in these groups, but it helps them. That's why people are, maybe they'll be mean or bully someone else, but that's just reflecting on how they feel about themselves or whatever. Yes. So it's like one of those things.
I saw on there, it says something about misogynist, hates women, whatever. I think that these people, they don't hate women. In fact, they're probably obsessed and love women and always talk about them, but because they can't get any access or intimacy, they just turn it into, she's so stupid.
It's like a coping thing.
Yes.
Especially when you find a group of people that, can't get women either. It's like, well, okay, we hate women then.
But really, none of them hate women. For example, I hate ketchup. Do you know how much time I spend talking about ketchup? Never. Simply because I hate it and I don't even like speaking about it.
I feel like if you don't like country music, you don't even hate on it because you don't even play it.
Yes. I'm not a huge country fan. I don't even talk about it, look at it, consume it.
It seemed like certain people in that group hate, like that one thread said they hate women, but they also want to be with women. So I don't know how much is full hate versus they wish they could.
They have to hate in a way.
I don't think he's wrong when there's a high percentage of men that are just lonely.
Yes.
And they're isolating themselves, but in their weird fucked up way, they have their own community. So it's like they kind of are bringing themselves together, but then clearly it's not enough because there's still multiple of them deleting themselves, no matter even being a part of this group with all the other guys that share the same underlying common trait. So
I think this type of guy, society is just like, oh yeah, they're disgusting and gross and nobody cares about them. But as we've seen, if the wrong type of guy is lonely enough for the longest amount of time, that's dangerous. They get crazy.
And if they're fueled by a group of people that are encouraging certain behavior, then that's when people start dying. People start doing crazy shit in public,
deleting themselves and stuff like that, and then going crazy in public.
Like these people running people over at parades and shit.
Like that. That's what upsets me is when whenever there's like a big tragedy, disaster, whatever, why did this happen? It's like, it's happening right now, but nobody's doing anything about it. I ain't really had the solution exactly. Well, you can't force women to be with a guy they don't want to be with. They're gonna be with who they want to be with.
And it's like, it makes sense why these girls don't want to be with these incels because of their behavior. So it's like, well,
real quick, guys, we just launched a website where we're gonna be putting all of our exclusive content, never before seen clips, longer extended videos, all the reactions that we couldn't upload onto this channel are all going onto this website.
all you got to do is become a member and you'll get weekly content, almost unlimited content in a way, because we're going to constantly be posting stuff. So check it out, become a member.
If you've already watched all the Strawberry Park uploads and you need something else to watch during your lunch break, this is the chance.
And this is almost for someone that wants a deeper connection with us, to see a bit more, because we already post every other day here. So if you want more from us and you're that level of a supporter, check it out, because I think we're not going to disappoint with the content. Oh, I'm tired of the reactions.
I want more vlogs. Oh, you not a member?
You didn't see him over there?
Oh, the members just got 2 this week.
Oh, you have to sign up. You have to sign up.
Y'all still watching the reaction? Oh, look, they saw it a day early.
MyStrawberryPark.com. Click the first link. Become a member.
What's truly heartbreaking about this situation is the realization that these young men who now identify as incels were once innocent young boys with hopes and dreams. It's likely that most of them had aspirations of getting married or maybe even starting a family. However, due to their deteriorating mental health, low self-esteem, and society that seems indifferent to their struggles, they have become what they are today. Imagine living in a society where you feel devoid of love and affection, where your only companions are equally miserable men. It is truly horrifying to think that this has become so commonplace, and that men who become part of this culture either resort to attacking others or tragically taking their own lives because for them, death seems more preferable than living in a world that does not show them any love or care. We done talking. It's like, we'll help these people, but then the way that they're speaking, no one wants to help someone who speaks like that and acts like that.
Never any girl incels.
Nope. No, because women can get intimacy whenever they want. And that's the struggle of being a man. It's like, you have to really, you got to earn it, and it's harder. Some people have the privilege of looking good and some people don't. It's easier for them.
Tough, because even the right person to push you to do something, it still comes down to the person.
You almost feel bad then too, because it's like, yeah, this guy you would hope like he would get with someone, but he has that mental disorder, you know, so it's like, damn, he can't.
I was trying to look up a stat about this. According to available data, a significant majority of women throughout history would have procreated, with estimates suggesting that around 80 to 90% of women in most historical populations likely gave birth at least once in their lifetime. I looked, and there's another thing. It says, whereas only 40% of men did, which proves the point of, yeah, women are able to have a sexual partner and then procreate. Most men didn't. Yeah, that's sad, but that's also like Mother Nature, where, yeah, everything in the animal kingdom. That's why the peacocks have the feathers, and there's like a competition to get the mate. All animal species do stuff like that.
Would you say this is natural selection, just based off the social media culture, the way the world is, society and culture? Just, we're not outside the woods, but based off all these games that we have to navigate through, this is what it is. The better will succeed in procreating, at least.
The most attractive, dominant, whatever, they get to reproduce and spread their genes.
Because what about the line? Yeah, and keep it pushing.
And the rest don't.
Yeah, because what about the lion that was born the biggest, strongest, and the one that's born with no legs? He's probably not going to make it the furthest of the group. And that's not even his fault. That's not the guy's fault being just with these, it is what it is.
Yeah, and then if you talk about, hey, men are suffering too, shut up.
It's like, no, they are. Let's talk about it.
Hey, maybe we should talk about it, because that way we can maybe eliminate some things happening in public that are bad, where everyone gets affected.
On the outside, it may seem like they're being rude or inappropriate, but they're actually suffering.
That dude didn't
you feel bad
for 2 days.
It's almost like when you go to like a dog kennel, and there's like the dog that's crazy or barking, or it's really aggressive, but that's because it was raised in an abusive household where it got hit all the time, so now it acts crazy.
Off rip, you just think like that's the crazy one,
but really that's the one that needs the most love because of how badly it was hurt or neglected. But no one wants to adopt that dog because it's acting crazy.
And that's when you make a group chat with people that are all crazy, so you can feel some sort of togetherness, validation, which is sad because it's a never-ending loop of just bad negativity.
And they like almost know some people in the group aren't going to be here in a little bit, but that's part of the group. We understand that
we're in this together.
We're in together, and if he doesn't make it,
how do you get out of that? Like, how do you get out of that incel sort of lifestyle? Or if you're an incel, are you a proud incel? And it's like, well, this is who I am. Do some people not have the disorder where they just choose to be and like, okay, this is my lifestyle now? Like, I'm not even gonna try to change my mind, try to pick up on girls, try to be nice. Like, I'm just an incel now for the rest of my life. Like, when does that switch happen? And then he gets comfortable in his cycle and habits of like, okay, well, these are my friends, so I gotta log in every day. So he's applying himself to this sort of lifestyle anyways. Not a lot of people have family or people to like go to even, because you would think, okay, like hopefully the family steps in and sees him in this Vice video, like, come on, bro, why are you saying that? And why are you smoking and doing all this shit?
And maybe he lives with his family and they don't say anything.
And maybe that's the situation.
Like y'all were saying, I think there's probably a large group of men who are technically they're in the incel category, but they desperately want to be out of it. And maybe they're looking online advice on how to talk to girls or how to do this, or how to be better. And then I think then there's also a big group that have chosen their identity as, yeah, girls will never like me.
And that's what I'm saying. So I think it comes down to the person then. Because the difference is there was the one guy in your analogy that is trying to get better. Even if it doesn't work, he's trying. Then there's the other guy that accepts it and thinks there is no out.
And then there'll be like an attractive guy who will be like, well, all you gotta do is be yourself. Men get upset at that because, dude, I have been myself.
Yeah.
And I never get a text back. So what do you want me to do? And then when men are like crying for help, like, please, I just need something. Shut up. Just be better.
So like, yeah, does it make you an incel? Like if you've been trying and you haven't been able to do anything with somebody, like, or do you have to now treat the other sex in a certain way, like to be considered an incel? You know what I mean? Or like have a certain sort of viewpoint towards the other side to be considered an incel? Because what if you're just like a virgin, like that's just nice and you just can't hook up with anyone? Are you an incel?
Technically, because on paper, involuntarily celibate. You would like to be smashing.
Because it's like this word incels, it feels like a negative connotation, right? But it just means that you just can't have sex.
Yes. Is there a female version to an incel? We said that there is no real female incel.
Because whenever you hear people say online, like, you're an incel, like they say it as some sort of like dig. But it's like, what do you mean? That just means I've been trying to hook up with a girl, but I haven't been able to. What do you mean by that?
And that's why these people off themselves and then commit crimes on other people, because their suffering is a joke to society. And I think that, yeah, people, like if you hear about, you know, how social media impacts young girls' self-esteem, I would argue that I think people care about that. And if you hear like, hey, a lot of young women are suffering, people are like, hey, that's not good. Like, we don't want young girls suffering and having depression and XYZ. And then if you hear young men are suffering, it's like, yeah, shut up.
Shut up. They got a group chat.
They're good. Yeah, it's almost like if you say that guys are suffering, it's almost like you're saying that women aren't. Or like, one is more important than the other.
Two realities can be happening at the same time, even though both may never even coincide or ever exist. They can still be there.
And then people won't touch on the guys suffering until it's too late.
And then there's a big public tragedy and everyone's like, what the hell happened?
Yeah, why didn't anybody check on him?
Oh, it's because
give a fuck.
Yeah.
It's as if maybe there's a leak in the boat or something, or let's say a leak in the house. Everyone's like, hey, should we check on that leak? Nah, it's good. It's good. And then before you know it, the whole thing fucking bursts open and everything, and the pipes burst and the whole house blows up. And everyone's like, what the hell? What happened? Well, you had an opportunity to fix that, but nobody did. I guess all you could do is anybody, men, women, children, whatever, be nice to them.
Yeah,
and
that's like the big thing is just, we walk past everybody every day. We don't know what anybody's going through. I have no idea.
And with the way social media pits genders against each other and pits everyone against each other in political parties, it's like, I think maybe if everybody was nicer to one another or helped people who are going through things or seemed like they were fine, maybe that would help.
They need to interview a nice incel. This guy and his friends were giving a bad look for the incel.
Yeah, so maybe if people in the comments have thoughts on, you know, how can, but it's like, everyone be nice to each other. Well, that's not gonna happen. It's like, you could try.
And how much failed attempts makes you an incel? Like, what if you tried with one and then she rejected you? Are you now an incel?
Low key.
Like, right?
Would you be down? Nope. All right.
Fuck, I'm an incel. Oh shit. But I guess that's not bad if you're an incel. It's just like, you don't fuck.
It's like the show Hey Arnold.
I was going to say that too earlier.
She had a crush on Hey Arnold and was so obsessed with him, but would talk to him like, stupid football head, you're an idiot. But secretly she fucking loved him and was obsessed. That's what I think incels are.
That's what they always said too. It's like, you're always mean to the person you like.
I don't know if this is like a crazy jump, but let's say there's a man, lonely, young guy, and he wants to have a family, have kids or something, and then can't get a partner. So he can't have the family and kids he wants. And yet everyone is like kind of, in a way they laugh at him, or it's like, oh, he's gross, whatever, get away from me. They sort of discard him. But like, if think about a woman who was maybe like trying to get pregnant, but couldn't, I think people would look at that and be like, that's really unfortunate. That's so sad. Oh my God. Imagine like making fun of a woman who couldn't start a family. She couldn't help it, like maybe it was her body or her hormones or something, or preventing her from having the life she wanted. Everyone would look at that and go, what a heartbreaking tragedy. And then you look at the opposite. That's stupid. Shut up. Don't even talk about it. They're bad people. Shut up.
What's the difference between an incel and a virgin?
Low key, not much. How many people are virgins by choice?
Because I would say I'm a virgin over I'm an incel.
But a lot of virgins are incels because they've been trying to not be virgins. We made a video called Incels Get Roasted by This Guy by Fit Fearlix, whatever, big buff black guy. And that got a lot of views.
That's why we're gonna do it.
And we're gonna do another one because y'all click it. Y'all click on the fucked up shit. But isn't that sad? It's because the title was Incel and then gets flamed, gets roasted. Like, people want to see those people who are already down and out get kicked even more.
We're mad that we put incels, but it's like, what?
That's what people click on.
They called in for advice so they can get girls because they can't. Like, what's the issue?
That's a dictionary definition, and that's what we're saying and what it is.
This just gave me, I understand that word more now after watching this.
And we have a lot of male viewers. That's why I always like to speak to guys specifically, because despite what TikTok and social media and the news might tell you, men are suffering. Who's there to help them when they need help?
And it's the men that mask their emotions better than women anyway. So it's like, you won't even know sometimes when guys are feeling certain types of way.
Yeah.
Girls will just cry and tell you how they're feeling, whatever. But the amount of girls over guys that are doing that is just way more. Shout out to the incels. I'm hoping the best for you. Hopefully you can, cross over soon.
I definitely don't want people joining those chat rooms and being like that.
Because that's the deep end of an incel, I think, right there. Damn, bro. If you're there, you're in a bad position.
And I think the bottom line is you can change and there is hope. It's just harder if you're a guy, and you have to really do a lot of work to make yourself more marketable and more attractive. Life isn't fair, but nothing's fair. You might get dealt a certain set of cards, but it's what you do with them by the end of it. Drop a like, subscribe, peace.